Well, it's done. And I mean done. As this video comes out, my graduation will be tomorrow. Let's appreciate how far I've come and celebrate making it this far in life. Now, let me tell you about my classes. Across years, my classes have gone from enjoyable to nightmarishly hard and back to enjoyable again. I'll go year by year, and only talking about the required course load, electives will have their own bit. Starting in 2021, we had just gotten back from the COVID-19 pandemic, and thankfully, we were able to go back in person for classes. While we did have to stay socially distant, sanitize and wear masks, and deal with many scaled down or canceled events, after 2 straight years of being at home, even school sounds worth it. My freshman year had many chill classes, including English and world geography classes. The only one that sort of sucked was PE, so go ahead and call me fat in the comments now. In Geo in particular, I gained a knowledge and passion for the geography and history of the world, but I did also mess around quite a bit. Like, when the teacher accidentally left a link on our printed page, I took advantage. And from that clip, you see people wearing masks and being generally spread out more. I do have some regrets, like not picking different classes, but to my credit, a short Zoom call does not do them justice. In my sophomore year, I decided to up the ante a little bit. I took the hardest English class offered with Mrs. Smith, who is to date my longest continually enrolled high school teacher. If you're watching, congratulations! She very well could be. I also made one of the best and worst decisions of my life. AP World History. The class was rough, rigorous, and really not fun, but it was all for a shot at the college credit. I am the type of person that cannot keep consistent. Well, except in the fact that I stream on Twitch every Saturday, so come and watch. I have planned a collab. Yeah, no one cares for that. Anyways, AP World was probably taking up 80% of my homework that year, and I did seriously consider dropping out at one point, but I stuck with it, and hey, I passed the exam. Junior year, while still challenging, had no AP classes in sight. I took English with Mrs. Smith, of course, but the hardest class I took was History 17B with Mrs. Woolman. Her class is essentially Yuba College US History taught on campus at YC, with approved transferable college credits when you pass it. I wanted to take this for world history instead of AP, but it was all booked up that year, so I figured if I've got one history credit, might as well get the other one out the way too. Anyway, between this and AP, I knew a lot about history, and I really did flex it to people. Like when me and my friends played Arsenal, but we declared independence!
Hooray! Killing my independence from Great Britain! Come here, you jolly good mate. I'm gonna shoot a football-sized hole through you. Hey, Troy, there's no knives. There's no knives. There's no knives. Oh, shit, he's getting close.
This sucks.
Oh, there was 2 y'all there lined up. Is this how we felt when claiming independence from in Britain?
How many bullets we've wasted in the years?
Hey, there's no knifing.
I know. I just.
Hey! Oh my! I'm gonna play Ring Around the fucking Rose ring. Troy, get away!
Yeah!
Yeah, muskets are one shot, but they take like a century to reload, as we'd expect.
Oops.
This is
Yes!
so bad.
Okay, that was an extreme example, but I did know quite a bit, which was helpful for snagging my second college credit. Senior year was when I became paranoid of what you ask of a disease worse than the Black Death, a scourge worse than the plagues of biblical times, of a fate even worse than death itself. Senioritis! To counter this, I brought back my old friend, AP, to teach me how to code. I took AP Computer Science Principles partially because a lot of my first choice electives were chosen, and I started the AP course because I was doing so well in the regular course, even the professor couldn't keep up. And yeah, I know I have an elective section coming up, but I had like 2 required classes this year, and you know I gotta fill for time. Modern Myths and Legends was probably the best advanced senior English out there, and it happened to be taught by... guess who? In MML, we learned about some of the world's well-known legends of the past, and after taking 2 college-level history courses, you knew I was into that. The creative side of me also enjoyed the many projects we did. Here's me dressed as the Greek god of forging, Hephaestus. You're welcome, Internet. Honors Economics and Government were self-explanatory, but at the end of the government course, I had to do a research project on an issue that pertains to our general area. And every time I come down to YC, I notice just one thing. I started to wonder,
can me and my friends find the world's worst pothole?
So, we're gonna be going through some of the worst roads in Yuba City inside this thing.
In fact, this cactus drives better than the road.
Probably right, these roads are really bad around here. Right here, this is it.
Oh! 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 The camera fell!
There's some of it.
Oh my goodness, it looks like an earthquake just hit.
It's rough. To say the least. Oh, here we are.
Oh,
here we are.
oh, we gotta measure that one out.
We'll take this part. Oh, such as this pothole.
yes, that was really my project for the year. Anyway, we can finally move on to the more fun side of things. Now, the extracurriculars and clubs. Yes, I'm in a different shirt. You expected me to record all that at once? Anyway, this section might be a bit misleading, as it will also include most of the elective courses I took over the years, but those are quite interesting as well. I took classes like photography, video composition, and the aforementioned AP Computer Science. Also, after passing the PE Course 1, I was able to practice yoga as a physical education course instead. Still though, even after not doing PE for 2 years, I still probably made it much worse for future students. And that's because
I made my own version of the Fitness Gram Pacer test, and I made my sister actually do it.
What's your max you've ever gotten on the actual test?
I think like 25.
It started off pretty simple.
We will now begin the lunges. Up, down, down.
But as it went on, things got stranger.
We will now begin the triathlon. Ready, go.
And it eventually ended up looking something like this.
We will now begin the urine test. Everybody grab a cup.
Equals 0, return x divided by y. Else, return error.
But by far the biggest elective I was involved with was the band. Every year the band would go to competitions and test our skill, whether it was involving marching around the street, going to indoor concert venues, or even performing on our school's football field like a sort of drama performance. Everything there was a test of our skill and truly showed how our band was doing at that point, and most of the time, it was pretty bad. Because our band was incredibly small for school size. Regardless, we got a couple of awards, and there were many great moments in band. I love the community there, and you do get special recognition at graduation, which I will mention later. But, man, do I have so many great memories of band. Like when we went to Universal Studios, when we went to Marysville Christmas Day Parade, or even that time when we traveled to Disneyland to play their rivals' music. So, if you don't know, about a year ago, I went to Universal Studios and played Disney's music on the City Walk stage. That was pretty funny, and I was excited that Disney was this year, as Walt might want his revenge. The day of the performance arrived, and we got on stage to play Game of Thrones music by HBO Television. Nah, Universal still wins. Yeah, I played Disney music at Universal and HBO music at Disney. We really go all out for our end-of-year trips. It's been quite fun. There were also a couple offshoots or ensembles that I did, like the Drumline, where you basically just smack drums around for 20 minutes, and Jazz Band, where you act like you're in an elevator lobby for 20 minutes. In all seriousness, though, it was a great experience, And that wraps up my extracurricular section. Discipline? Okay, I'll admit, this section is basically just a shell for one of my shorts. I never got in trouble at school, and you can even see me prominently in a perfect attendance picture. I'd always be there for classes and really try not to be late. You all might be expecting me to talk about when I technically committed a war crime with 25 cents, but everybody knows that video. A good one too, but let's spotlight a short from all the way back in my freshman year. It is really jumpy and weird, but it was one of my first shorts ever.
Luckily, I played Jailbreak on Roblox. I got to experience.
Alright, we got the keys. Now it's time to steal my dad's car as a birthday present. I don't. We're going to now clean out dad's car. Hope you like it, Dad. Make sure to like and subscribe.
Okay, final shirt change, I promise. The value of friendship. My friend group was really cool across high school. I had only a few friends by 8th grade due to unforeseen global panic, but in high school my friend group expanded massively, and we found quite a few new people that were really chill, whether they were from the band, from one of my classes, or just random people that we came across. They were all eventually folded into my one massive friend group, which I deeply cherish. Believe me, I don't want to go too deep into this, as I want to keep the narrative of the video specifically to what I did in high school, but we had a lot of fun outside of class too. Anyways, as I said before, I've worked with my friends on many a school project. The aforementioned pothole analysis video, and a frankly hilarious video review of the book The Long Walk. Group projects can be harder though, as they take a lot of teamwork and coordination. And those skills were definitely needed elsewhere. Since, in this Roblox game, if one person dies, everyone dies. Oh, it wasn't me this time.
You mother... That was you, Quinn.
Pause.
You're pushing me!
Surprisingly, it's not me dying. I want to get on some of this death action.
Mother! It does. Okay. We're all stuck together. Go. Move forward slowly. Go.
I get it, but I gotta get
Help me!
No! Quinn, what are you
Run!
doing?
Run for your life!
Help! Help! Help!
Yeah, there's progress! You
Who was that? Commander!
Through it!
Tying this back to the discipline bit from earlier, my friends and I would do some stuff that, while not necessarily being banned, was pretty crazy. Like playing cards at lunch with no actual gambling. Or stuff like
Quinn's car Tetris?
Alright. Okay, so I'm trying to think how I'm going to do this. And so who's going to go get who? 'Cause
We have 1 person out of 7 inside.
back here. Then maybe you're going to somehow squeeze. Or let's Tyler. I think Tyler would be a better fit. Oh!
We have to actually move with all 7 of them.
Scoot your back! Mike, Tyler, we're going to share the seat. Okay, you're going to squeeze as close as far as you can. Okay. I'm just gonna go! Close the door! Close the door! That's the clue! Yeah! Let's go! Alright, let's go! Stop driving! Stop driving! No, don't ask me. Let's do it!
Alright, let's finish off with just a couple of things related to my graduation, like some of the awards I received and things I had to do to get the graduation. I had to go to 2 graduation practices, one literally the day this video comes out, and they were in the sweltering heat, so it was not great for me. I do get to decorate my hat, which I have some good ideas for. Some of the honors I won were a maroon and gold cord for performing arts with the band that I can wear at graduation. and they even recognized me in a special part of the ceremony. We had our own performing arts night, and it was really fun in general over those last few days. Just watch some of the shredding I was doing on the drum set. Cut that out and replace with shredding. I also received a dark purple cord for what they call religious advancement. Don't mix it up with the very similarly colored fashion design. Oddly, they don't specifically mention this cord by name anywhere, and that's probably because it's uniquely only given out by third-party connections. I got it from doing seminary, which is pretty much a Latter-day Saint Bible study, but with a little bit more structure involved. It's not specifically a thing with our church, it's given out by all different religions with their own requirements and such. And it had its own graduation ceremony, which I actually had to speak at.
The seminary class there was small, yet mighty. The community was even closer, and so was the drive, meaning I had a much better attendance record.
But we're not done. Finally, my diploma is going to have a gold seal on it. I really enjoyed my time at high school, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, so that's going to be it. Make sure to subscribe and... Ooh... If you want to come watch my first ever stream as a high school graduate, hop on over to Twitch this Saturday. Seriously though, I do some pretty cool streams and challenges and such. See y'all later. Have a good night.